Hey, Nick here with another fabulous video. Today I wanted to show you guys my 1960 Dodge Phoenix. Now this is actually the very first year of the Dodge Dart. The Phoenix is the top of the line Dart, so it doesn't say Dodge Dart on it. It just says Phoenix. The two lower models were the Seneca was the base model and the mid-range model was the Pioneer, and then Phoenix being the top of the line. This car happens to have a 318 V8 with a 4-barrel in it. They came with 5 engine sizes: the 225 6-cylinder, 318 V8, 361 V8, 383 V8, and then you could get the 383 D500 option, which was the dual quad cross ram, 330 horsepower. Which was pretty cool. This, unfortunately, is not that. And the Cross Ram, the D500, only came with the 383. They also came with options like a dual two-barrel carburetor, 4-barrel carburetor, single exhaust, dual exhaust. They came with other options like swivel seats, clock in the dashboard, power windows, convertible models, things like that. They made different body styles. This is the fastback version, the fastback trim model. Other trims were the hardtop, 4-door, 2-door hardtop, which was not a fastback. It had a much larger roof and a completely different rear window. They came with a wagon. And the wagon had a longer wheelbase. These had I think a 118 inch, and the wagon had a 122 inch. So this is a 2-door fastback. I've restored this car. I started the restoration in 1991, I think, and I finished it in 1994. I had the seats all redone. SMS in Oregon did the seats for me. And then I took it to an upholstery shop, Chatsworth Auto Upholstery in Van Nuys, in Chatsworth, in the Valley in Los Angeles. And they did the seats for me. And I asked them to put the plastic seat covers on, because when I got the car had, it had, I don't know, very low mileage, and I bought it from the original owner. I think it was 70,000 original miles on it, and it had the original seat covers, the vinyl. It had the original vinyl seat covers with the original plastic covers on them. So I went ahead and did the plastic. To make a long story short, I went ahead and did the plastic again to protect these very expensive seat covers. You know, they have these chrome stars, and they're expensive. All this was expensive to do. I think SMS in 1992 or 93 charged me about $2,500. See, this is all chrome. They charged me about $2,500 then to make these door panels and seat covers. And then I had to have the upholstery shop sew them up and put them on. So that was an expensive process. But it turned out well, and the seats are like new because of the plastic. Anyway, this car, it does not have swivel seats. It does not have the clock, the clock would be positioned here. It'd be a round clock like that, be round, and the second hands and the dials, they go around. It's the most interesting clock you ever saw. I actually have one, but I don't have the cable for it. I lost the cable because I'm a nitwit. And the steering wheel looks like a big Miller sign, doesn't it? But this thing is, I bought it from the original owner. It's always been garage, so this steering wheel is in perfect condition. Lucky. The car has no park. It has a typewriter transmission. It has no parking gear. So it's got low, second drive, neutral, and reverse. And the emergency brake is your parking gear. And if the emergency brake doesn't work, you're screwed. The seat belts are not original. These were not in the car when I got. It had no seat belts. The car was not built with seat belts. I put these in. I got these out of a Thunderbird, and I thought, well, they look cool. They match the car, so I put them in and I attached them to the floor like an old Thunderbird with the hooks, you know. So I thought that was kind of period. So I did that. So that worked out nice. I had Snake Oil products. Snake Oil does seatbelts, and I had them do those for me, and they re-chromed them and put the belts and the new clamps and everything. Roll up windows. It's got really cool hubcaps. I love the hubcaps. They got those spinners on there. They come off, they're bolted in from the back. Those are cool. This car, it was like a Matador and a Polara. And, but it was just cheaper. And it's the same body, same platform, same body. And the Matador, for example, I think, or the Polara, the taillights came out to here. So this part was longer, but other than that, there were other trim differences, but other than that, it was basically the same car. So these outperformed those in the sales because they were so similar and they were so full of trim. Look at the trim on this thing that people thought, why should I spend all that money on a Matador or Polara when I can buy one of these and have almost the same car? So these are pretty cool. I get it mistaken a lot for Christine. Everybody thinks this is Christine. Which chairs, you know, these Dodge Darts Phoenixes were built on a Plymouth platform, and so this is the same body and platform as the Belvedere. It's got the same roof. It's got the same trim on the roof. There's a lot that's too much to list that's similar as the Belvedere. And so that's why it's easy to mistake this, but it's not. It's not Christine. Hi, kitty. Sure looks like it, though. I love the ashtray in the back seat. That's cool. They don't do that anymore. No ashtrays anymore, hardly, you know. Car has no air. Now, when I got it, it had an air conditioning system in it that did work, but it was an aftermarket system. I don't know where it came from. I still have it, but I took it out of the car. One thing the car didn't have when I bought it, it didn't have this right-hand mirror, and I found this somewhere. I don't remember now, but I found it, and I had it re-chromed and put it on the car. That's the only thing this car didn't have originally that's on it now, is that mirror. Everything else is from this car. When I bought it from the original owner in Canoga Park. Some guy who had a carpet company. God, the name escapes me. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's a really weird name, but he made custom carpets for people with designs in them. Like if you wanted your name or a picture of a logo or something. So it was high dollar stuff for rich people. Let's take a look at the motor. It's a 318 4-barrel. Now, I built this car to drive. I don't take it to shows very often. I've only taken it to a few shows. Now, this is the old poly block. They're pretty much boat anchors. But this car goes. It'll keep up with a Thunderbird. And this motor's dependable. It's old technology. The old poly blocks, they had adjustable hydraulic lifters. So what that means is that they had hydraulic lifters, plus they had adjustable rockers. So every once in a while, I got to pull the valve covers, I got to run it and adjust the rockers. Just like if it had solid lifters. It's stupid design. Should just put a modern 318 in it and be done with it. It's got no power brakes. This car has the worst brakes in the world. In 1960, Dodge refused to buy Bendix brakes, so they had their own dual wheel cylinder brakes. They're junk. The front brakes on this thing are 2-inch. It's just the worst. I don't put any weight in this car, man. I can't carry 4 people. It wouldn't stop. And I got this Mickey Mouse carburetor on it. I know that's my fault. I have the original carburetor for it. I have the original air cleaner. You know, I put this carburetor on this carburetor's been on here since the 90s, and I just never got around to putting the original on. It ran so well, and everything was fine, and I had so much other stuff to do, and I just never got around to it, so I didn't do it. So that's the way it goes. So sue me. So anyway, that's the motor. It still has a generator. It works. Everything works great. I can let this car sit for 6 months. It'll start right up every time. It's really a durable engine. You know, there's really a reliable, durable motor. It's got a TorqueFlite 3-speed tranny. It's a good transmission, even though it's, you know, got that push button. That push button thing is cable operated. But the car has got so, you know, it's got 100,000 miles on it now, but that's not a lot. So that stuff isn't even begun to wear out. You know, it's still in good shape. So that's the motor. And that's it. That's my 1960 Dodge Phoenix. We live on dirt roads and it's dusty here. So that's why I just washed it, you know. So it's been sitting here for a couple hours now and it's already covered with dust. You know, one of the things I like about this car is the mirror on the dash. That's factory, and I think that's the coolest. I mean, this car is Jetsons all the way. It really is. It's just Chrysler had it down with the Jetsons, man. Their cars with the fins and the, you know, the Adventurers and the New Yorkers and some of their cars. This one, for example, Plymouth with the Belvedere. Those were the coolest. They were the best styled cars. Virgil Exner, man, he did all this. Virgil Exner designed this car for Dodge, you know, and they wanted to compete with the Ford midline models, you know, the mid-price models. And also they competed with Plymouth, you know, even though they were in-house, they competed heavily with Plymouth. And the Dodge Dart was extremely successful. And outperformed Plymouth, outperformed everything they had. It really helped Dodge become a big deal back in the 1960. But in 61, you know, they changed the model every year up until 1963. So 1960 is all by itself, 1961 is all by itself, 1962 is all by itself. And then in 1963, they went to the smaller Dodge Dart that everybody knows. They're kind of cool, but they're really ugly, and nobody wants to ever own one because most of them are only 6 cylinders. I think they made a few V8s, and you could get a convertible, but nobody wants one. It had the 225 slant 6 in them, which is a bulletproof motor. I mean bulletproof. You can run those things into the ground and they still go. That's one of the greatest motors that Chrysler ever built, was a 225 slant 6. Powerful, economical, reliable. Anyway, in 1961, this is a 60. In 1961, they reversed the fin. It's just the ugliest, most gaudy thing you ever saw. I don't know who would have thought of doing that. Maybe Virgil Exner decided to do that, and they redesigned the front end completely. It's more aluminum. They redesigned the dash. They made it cheaper. It's just a hideous car. Now, I've seen some that are restored and they're pretty cool. You know, when they're new, they look neat. They're just so odd and so weird that they look pretty cool. But God, it's an ugly car. And then the 62 is just even worse. But the 62 came with bigger motors and more high-performance motors. I'm not sure exactly. I don't have that information in front of me now, but This D500, when you could get these in the D500, they had the cross ram dual quads. Cool, so cool. Those are really popular and really expensive today. So anyway, that's it. That's my Dodge Phoenix, the Dodge Dart family. People look at this and say, that's not a Dart. I don't care what you say. And I have to agree with them. You know, it's just nothing like the Dart we all know. The 63, that little small car. Good little economy car, but just ugly, you know, that 63 Dodge Dart. And if anybody else out there has one of these, let me know. Let me tell me your story. Oh yeah, I should probably tell my story a little bit. I bought this in 1987. I bought it from the original owner in the San Fernando Valley, like I said. I restored it, and I started the restoration in 91, and I finished it in 94. And it's like this, I haven't done anything to it since. And one of the reasons why the chrome is so good is because I had the chrome done at a place called Christensen Plating in the city of Vernon in Los Angeles. And you pay for what you get. The chrome work, and I'm not talking about the bumpers. I'm talking about just the trim pieces, the pot metal pieces like this, and on the back, the mirror, and a couple other small pieces. That was $2,500 as well in 1992. But look at it. It's like new, you know, and this is how many years later? Almost, 30 years later. So that's been a while. And the seats, they've almost 30 years now. The car was painted in 92. And again, you pay for what you get. I took this car to Joe at J&M Auto Works. Joe's the best painter I've ever met. The guy, he just did fabulous work. Him and his dad painted this car. He had a great business, J&M Auto Works on Van Nuys Boulevard at Saticoy, I think. And look at it. The guy did me right. Joe's a great guy. I can't say enough good things about him. I used to go there to his shop all the time and see the work that he was doing on cars, him and his dad. Just spectacular stuff, man. Joe was the kind of guy that he did what he said. He knew what he was doing. This paint job is, come on, it's 30 years old, and look at it. Now, granted, I keep it garage, but I got lucky. That was the best money I ever spent. Everything, the chrome, the paint, the seats, it still lasts because you pay for what you get. Anyway, so I've had it that long. I drove it every day for a few years. I bought it in 87, and up until 91, I drove it every day. And then I decided to restore it. It was just starting to age, and it was smoking. When you decelerate, it would smoke. That means the guides were bad, the guides. So I had to have the motor rebuilt. I had the transmission rebuilt. My friend Don did that. My mentor, really, Don. The smartest mechanic I ever met. That guy, he forgot more than I'll ever know about mechanics. Anyway, he did the rest. He did all the mechanical, the engine and trans. He did all that. And it's still going strong today. No problems, doesn't smoke, starts right up, shifts every time. 30 years later, and all it does is sit. I hardly ever drive this thing. It's terrible. I really should get it out more, but I'm in Colorado. It's always hailing or raining or cold or something or windy. So, so it's not like LA where it's 75 degrees every single day and you can drive a car every single day and go to the picnic every single day. You really can. It's ridiculous. So, that's my story. So, since 87, I've had this car, 33 years? That's a long time. This is the longest I've ever owned any car. My wife, we went on our first date in this car the day I met her. Her and I went in on a date in this car down in Laguna Beach. And That was pretty cool. That was fun. So, you know, she'll kill me if I ever want to sell it. You're not selling that car. As I threaten her, you know, if we get in an argument, I'll sell the Phoenix. So, you know, anyway, so I hope you liked the video, and like and subscribe and all that other crap. Okay, you guys take it easy. Thanks. Bye.